You're about to beat the odds when all odds are against you. You're about to beat the odds when nobody expected you to win. You're about to beat the odds when nobody expected you to rise again. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you had some people plotting on your failure. But you about to beat the odds when all odds came against you, when all circumstances weren't in your favor. God is about to work things out in your life. Your situation is about to change. You're about to be reunited with favor. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you've been separated from your goodness, from the greatness of God. I don't know who needs to hear this. And God told me to tell you that he's about to restore things in your life. And you want to know the craziest thing? People aren't going to expect it to happen for you. When it happens, they're not going to acknowledge how God had really worked in your life until it happens. When it happened, they're not going to really understand what God is doing. God going to start off by just opening the door, but then you're going to walk through the door and blessings are going to flow and grow and move in your favor. Some people will not acknowledge what God is really doing until God really shows them, this is my child. Some people will not acknowledge what God is really doing in your life, even now. God is working in your life even now, but because it hasn't happened on earth, some people don't even know how good you're about to be blessed. You're about to be reunited with your destiny alignment. You've lost yourself for people. Every circumstance and situation that has broken your back, that has beat you down, that has made you cry, that has made you shed tears. You're about to rejoice. God is about to reunite you with goodness. God is about to reunite you with favor, with protection, with peace. You lost your peace over these last few years. The relationships that you allow in your life, they've stolen your peace. The responsibilities that you had placed over your life, you had responsibilities placed over your life. Not only have you had responsibilities, but you have limitations. You had responsibilities that you had to deal with, and you had the limitations set over your life that limited you from taking care of what you needed to take care of. And nobody was backing you. You had to pay those bills with limits on your money. You had responsibilities of taking care of people, and you couldn't even take care of yourself. But God said he's with you to keep going in this season because you blessed and you highly favored, and you're about to be more blessed than you think. And people won't realize what God is truly doing until God really shows them. I've been working in secret with this child. Some of you, you've been working in secret. You've been crying in secret. You've been tarrying in secret. You've been praying in secret. And God is about to expose what was done in the dark. It's about to come to light. Some people are about to know what you did in the dark because it's about to come to light. Some people out there, they're doing things they're rejecting and neglecting the calling of God in the dark. In the dark, they may smile in your face, but in the dark, behind your back, they wishing all evil against you. They got evil and jealousy in their hearts in the dark. But to the world, they want to look like they're the best person on earth. They want to look like, when they at the job, they're the best co-worker. But when they go home, they dealing with darkness. When they go home, they dealing with rebellious spirits. When they go home, they turning on them websites and touch self-pleasing themselves. When they go home, they're plotting and planning against your failure. When they go home, they worshiping idols. When they go home, they worshiping money. But when you go home, you on your hands and your knees. See, the things you do in darkness, you connect with God in darkness. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you pray in your darkness. And God is about to expose exactly what you've been doing in darkness when nobody could see you. When nobody could see me, when these cameras go off, when I turn this phone off, I'm on my knees. When I turn this camera off, I'm praying that God purifies me. I'm praying that God removes every obstacle. I'm talking to the Lord. I'm worshiping. I'm figuring life out with God. The things that I do in the dark, it will come to light. God say nothing done in darkness won't be exposed. Whatever you do in darkness, I don't know when they say that, you've been sitting with yourself. You've been praying with God. You've been talking to God. You've been pleading. You've been fasting. You got a good heart. When nobody could see you. You help people when nobody know what you're going through on the inside. The battles you face, you will hold a door open for somebody on your worst day. You will take the shirt off your back and give your last to anybody that asks for it. And you think God don't see you? You think, see, your good deeds may go unseen by man. People may not acknowledge you and appreciate you and accept you for who you are, but I guarantee you something. God knows exactly what you've been doing for him. You've been a soldier from day one on the battlefield for God. You ain't giving up on God. You ain't losing hope in humanity. You ain't losing faith in God. And when you're surrounded by darkness, you still choose to be a light. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you beat the odds. Where it should have killed you, where the devil should have destroyed your happiness, destroyed your heart for good, for once and for all, where the devil should have destroyed your faith for once and for all, when he gave you that sickness, when he gave you that the death of that family member, when he gave you the life that you had to walk in silence and suffer in silence, he should have killed you off. But you kept praising, you kept understanding that there is goodness in this world. You kept your faith in God, you kept your integrity, you stayed true to yourself when everybody else wanted you to turn, when everybody else tried to shape you and mold you into scope you into being something that you're not. You allow God to shape you. You allow God to mold you. You put your life in the hands of a potter. The prayers you were releasing in darkness for your circumstances, for your situations, the heart you had in your worst days. I don't know who needs to hear this. The things you went through and you were still a good person. Every day your heart was beating. You was trying to make somebody happy. You was trying to please somebody. How you uplifted people even in your sadness. How you used your gifts even when you didn't know how to work life out, figure life out for yourself. I want to let you know something. They may have not seen it, but God sees everything. They may not know who you are, baby. And you don't have to search for the acceptance of others. You don't need the approval of other people when you got the approval of God. You don't need other people to have your back when you got the backing of God. You don't need other people to uplift your spirit when you got the Holy Spirit. He gonna do it. He's gonna make a way. You gonna beat the odds standing on the firm foundation of God, standing on the strength of God, standing on the truth of God. When they lie about you, you stand. You stand on who God says you are. You stand on who you know you are. Because God told me to tell you something. You got the backing of the Lord behind you. You beat every odd. I want you to understand what that means. That when people fail, you beat it. People commit suicide and a depression and you overcome and you living through it every day. You fighting your pain with praise. You beat the odds. People fail, people fall and never get back up in their financial lack. You becoming more resilient. You moving bills around. You don't care how it get done. It's going to get done. You don't care what limits you got over your life. You don't care how much God chooses to give you and release to you. Whatever God does, you're going to be a good steward. You're going to do good with it. You may not know much. You may not have an opportunity to everybody else. You may have not been able to go to college and get that scholarship and get that education that everybody else got. But with the knowledge you have, you are moving mountains. The knowledge you have, you making things happen for you. People have had better opportunities than you, more chances than you. People have been in rooms where the experience, where they got experience on how to steward money. Your mother never taught you about money. Your father never taught you about money. Your father never taught you how to be a man. Your mother never taught you how to do certain things in your life. You had to learn. And with everything that you had to learn, you're doing the best you got. And God sees it. Everything, every situation, you beating up. Baby, you are not a statistic. Where people should have failed. Where people should have been addicted to drugs for the rest of their life. Where people should have died, you made it out of. You know how many car accidents God kept you from? How many times you were walking where a car could have smashed into you? How many times you were driving where you should have died, but God went before you? You beat in statistics every day you wake up. The more you praise God, the more you open your mouth and thank God. When nobody's watching. Who are you when nobody sees you? I don't care about who you are when everybody's watching. I could care less about who I am when everybody's watching. But when nobody was supporting me, I was still praising. Struggling, I'm still praising. Whatever weapon that the enemy throws my way, I'm praising so that that weapon won't prosper, because I know it won't prosper. With no friends, with no money in my bank account, with no food in the fridge. Who are you when nobody knows what you're going through? And God said, you've been at perfect peace. You've been in harmony in him. And things may have not been fully aligned to your liking in your life, but you know God is going to make a way. You know God going to come through. You know God ain't going to leave you where they left you. They left you when you were heartbroken. They left you in that depression and your heartbroken. They left you in your sadness. They left you in your pain. But you turn to God, and you know God won't leave you where they left you. Where they left you. They couldn't handle your flaws. They couldn't handle your emotions. They couldn't handle your battles. Some people left your life because they seen the attack over your life. And wherever they walked out on you, that's where God walked in. And you literally daily, you don't even know how blessed you how favored you are, how blessed. You're already blessed, but how more blessed you are about to be, how highly favored you already are. I can't even say you're about to be. You have to understand some things. Though it may have not happened on earth, it's happening in heaven. That's why people not understanding. If they were understanding what's happening for you right now, what God is signing off to on your life right now. People understand the blessing that God is signing off right now as we speak. God is in heaven on his highest throne, signing off a $1 million check in your name. God is signing off favor, increase, stature upon man and God. God is signing off a house. He's signing off the lease. You know, if people understood what was going on in heaven in your life right now, if people understood what was going on in the spiritual realm, they would get on board. They would love you more. They would support you more if they knew what God has for you. But see, people don't understand until God actually shows it. People don't understand. They don't understand that God was already signing off 30 days before it happened. Before it happened on earth, it happened in heaven. You just now seeing it. If you were so anointed, you could understand. I don't know who's watching this, but my spirit. Every discrimination that was read against you, every accusation, God is about to accuse the accuser. Because he said, touch not my prophet. Touch not my chosen one. Do my prophet no harm. Do my anointed one no harm. And there is people that have accused you and touched you. And you beat the odds. Where you were supposed to turn sour. Where you were supposed to go sour. The betrayal, that friendship, that friendship was supposed to make you it was supposed to make you hate life. And you still got love in your heart. You still got love in your body. You're still an able body. You're still an able body, an able being that God could use. If people knew what God was doing for you right now in heaven, they would call you, and it may be fake. It may be fake love. But you see, it's going to have to hit earth for some people to realize, oh, yo, this child always been blessed. Wow, God really did it. God did it before they seen it. I want you to say that right now. God did this before you even seen it. Me and God was working some things out. God was working in my silent moments. Those times where you couldn't even, you ever been so numb where you couldn't even talk. You couldn't even, you ever just like had to breathe because just so you could breathe. I don't know who needs to hear this. You ever had that feeling in the pit of your stomach? You had to force yourself to have faith in God. You don't know. See, some people don't know. They don't know your story. They don't know your story. They don't know you had to force yourself. You didn't think God was going to come through, but you had to force yourself up. Where other people would have gave up, you beat the odds. That's what makes you special. That's what makes you chosen, because you chose God. I could have cried me a river and turned my back on God. But when I cried, I knew God was going to come through. I knew he was going to make a way. I believed in him. I trusted in him. I chose him because he chose me first. I loved him because he loved me first. I accepted the rejection from my family members to turn to God. How many times have you had to accept defeat to allow God to fight your battles? You had to accept keeping your mouth closed just to allow God to vindicate you. You had to accept what people were saying about you. They talked about you every type of way, and you had to accept it because you knew that God was going to speak, and God is about to overthrow. I thank you guys for donating. If you've ever donated into my life, whether it be the smallest seed or a large seed, I thank you for every time you donated $2, $1, 50 cents. I thank you for every prayer you've ever said for my life. You guys are always in my prayers. You always on my mind. I love you. Till we meet again, keep your head up. Go in favor.